back on that job where I poured this slab here for these two sheds, and I cut a bunch of trees down off of this hill and spread out a bunch of topsoil here and made this lawn much nicer. And a thing I didn't film here, this front yard here used to that was just like a big hole with stumps, brush, and it just looked really bad. And I didn't film that, but I probably brought 15 loads of dirt in here to fill this in, and trucked all the brush and stuff out that was here. I have a picture I took before I did anything. Here is this guy's front yard 2 years prior, so you could see what a difference I made. There was a lot of stumps and logs just laying in there. And people sometimes ask how I get jobs. This guy didn't even advertise that or hire me like this. What I did, I knocked on the guy's door. He wasn't home. I left a note. I said, "Your front yard looks bad. I could fix it." And he called me up, and it happened. And I was lucky I did it then, because he had just hired or was about to hire someone else. But that guy didn't have any heavy equipment and was going to try to just take all that wood away by hand. But there was no way he would have gotten like this stump out and this stump out. So I was really the right guy for the job. But, you know, this is it after I brought in all the fill and took away all the wood. So you can see what a big improvement it was. Back here today, we are doing more. We're clearing more over here. The guy marked a bunch of trees. So here's a big one here he's got marked. And so pretty much the whole edge of the property we're taking trees down. And then the plan is to dig out this hillside here, and I'm going to use that dirt to fill in this low area over here where my truck is, and it's nothing you could mow. It's just like boulders, and it gets wet sometimes. So I'll fill that in and smooth that out so it could be nice lawn. And then the whole plan is the guy wants to put an addition on this house, because this house is a little small. So that addition is going to go right here, and he's going to have a garage, because he's got this, I think this is like a Camaro. This is like some nice muscle car that's just sitting outside that really should be inside. So that garage is going to get built. But so I'm here to get these trees done. So I got a pile of brush right by my excavator right there to load in. I'll haul that away, and then I'll just keep working my way around taking trees down. And then once all the trees are done, I can start doing the earth moving over here to get the build site ready. Alright, so let's get started. make sure you look up, make sure nothing's hanging after something crazy happens like that. This is the pin that holds the thumb in on my Yanmar. This end just ripped off of it, and it fell out and bent it, so I gotta cut this off and weld a new thing on there. Just finished, so that should be fine. That's a bigger piece than what was on there. Alright, there, fixed forever. Even though this machine almost never breaks, one thing that does happen to it sometimes are the tracks will jump off. And I can usually catch it. It happens a lot on uneven terrain. You know, especially in here, it's a lot of like stumps and just rocks sticking up, so it's real easy to throw a track. So let me show you how. I mean, it's usually not a big deal. I can usually get that right back on without even getting off the machine. So let me show you how to do that. See, that's on. Now this side, just backing up and turning will usually get it on. Alright, now that's all there is to it, and I'm sure some people are going to say it's too loose, that's why they keep coming off, but I don't think it is. I mean, I guess I could pump that up a little bit tighter, but, you know, I don't, you know, I think it's just mostly what you drive over, so you just kind of got to watch them, that's all. Yeah. I was a little worried about that one. That's good though, that's right where I wanted it.
Down the woods there.
Alright, so it's been over a year since I've started this thing. So long that trees are starting to grow between it. But I want to use it on that job because I think this will make very quick work of what I want to do over there. So let's, I've had some chargers on it for half a day now. Let's see if it starts up. Alright, so I'm maybe leaning towards it being a problem with the battery here. So the thing's got two batteries in it and I had two chargers on it. So I have this one and then this computer controlled one. These computer controlled ones suck. Don't buy these because it's like, you know, you have it, it's on, you touch the terminals together, you don't get any spark. It's like, this thing is stupid. You take a regular charger, you know, it does something. It's actually got power coming out of it. And you can see that the battery, when it sparks when you hook it up, that way you know it's pulling in power. So I don't think that stupid computer control charger was doing anything. So let me leave this charger on it for a while and see if it can come back to this. Alright, it's hours later. Let's try it now. Now the batteries are dead. Well, at least it's not a bad starter or something. Alright, the thing's running great. I think it needs batteries though. And I got one grease fitting here that's not taking grease. Let me fix that. I'm surprised that worked so well. Alright, so yeah, when a grease fitting gets clogged up, what you gotta do is drive the pin out and then just hit the grease fitting and it's fine. Alright, the thing still won't take grease. I gotta take the fitting out. Alright, great. That's taking grease easy now. Now let's deal with those batteries. These batteries aren't taking a charge. Just gonna put new batteries in it. Alright, notice I got a broken off bolt here. Alright, that worked really well. That's nice that worked the first time there. Alright, so that battery terminal, it won't go down on that thing all the way, and it's very tempting to hammer that, but that could ruin a battery. So what you do, use this tool here, a battery terminal spreader. And that will open up the battery terminal. So now that goes on there all the way. I'll put a link in the description for this. And it's always a good idea to write the year on stuff like batteries. Alright, this machine's ready to be operated. Alright, so I'm all set to work here now. So I'll explain what I'm doing. The plan is to... The guy wants to put an addition on this house with a garage and stuff and put it in this spot. And he wants more room. So what we're going to do is dig out this hillside here. And that's going to benefit the property in a few ways. One, the property line is only a little past that tree line where I cleared. So I want to dig that hill back to about that point and maybe make it kind of match what's going on over here. And the material I dig out of there is going to go down into this area right here. Now this whole spot, it's low and there's water. It just rained really heavy yesterday. That's why there's puddles here. But it's low, and it's, even if it wasn't low, it's all rocks, and you know, you'd never be able to mow it or do anything with it. So that's why we're filling this whole thing in. So this side over here was actually the same way. I ended up bringing, like, I think more than, it was a few years ago now, but I think I brought in over 15 loads of dirt and filled that whole spot in to get that nice lawn. So that's the idea. We're going to continue the lawn on this side and make it look nice. I got to cut that stump off. And then we'll have a bunch more room back there and room to build the new addition and garage. Alright, so let me get these two cars out of the way and I'll get started. So I brought my Hitachi here also. I wasn't planning on doing that. I was literally driving past this job on my way home from another job. So I figured I might as well drop it off. I'm probably going to use it. It might be nice on that bank to just help shape it and finish it. Because the track loader can move a serious amount of material, but it's not always the best tool for finishing stuff. But yeah, I'm glad to have it out. I don't bring this machine out enough. You know, it's been over a year since I've even used it, and you know, I had to buy batteries and stuff for it. So I'm gonna kind of make a rule that I use this machine at least twice a year and just try to use it on stuff. All right, let's get started. Okay, that's where the fire was, right here. So maybe there's a fuel leak, or maybe it was just this stuff burning off the engine. All right, so I'll explain what I think happened here. This rust hole in the exhaust, I think what fire was shooting out of there and set leaves and stuff on fire that was on top of this engine. So I got everything cleaned off pretty well, and I should be able to run this. I don't think any lines or anything melted. I don't think it's leaking any fuel out of those injectors. So I'll try running it, and you know, if this isn't shooting too much fire out of there, it should be all right. And I'll either try to replace that part or just patch that. I'm at the point where I'm calling this job about done. So this area over here, I dug this hill back quite a bit and made a lot more room for any garage or addition that's going to go here, because the plan was he didn't want to have it so far forward that it was too close to the street and not enough room for the driveway and lawn and everything. So he can have it back quite a bit further now. The other thing that's may happen is I may bring in a load of like 3/4 inch gravel just to dress up the parking area, but it isn't in terrible shape. It's pretty flat and there's no big rocks in there, but he does have that fancy muscle car that would probably be happier on a nice fresh load of gravel. This area here where the machines are, so that's pretty much done. You know, that's just that shale that I dug out of the hillside, and once you track on it, it breaks it up and flattens it down pretty good. Now a roller would do nice on this, but I don't have one, and you know, this is good enough. You could pretty much drive any vehicle on this and park something. And the other thing that we should do here, and he definitely wants to do it, but he said next year, is bring in a load of screen dirt for this area right here and spread it out and then get some grass growing. The reason he doesn't want to do it yet is because he said he does not want to mow that much more lawn this year and is waiting until his new garage is built and he has room to keep a riding lawnmower. So, you know, if it was me, I'd probably get that load of screen dirt in here sooner than later, but you know, that's kind of his decision. But this looks a lot better than it did, because this was just a big hole right here. Anything else I do here, you know, I'll just film it and keep everyone updated, but you know, that was a big improvement for now. And all the equipment worked pretty well. So the track loader worked well. That was good to get this machine out.